Hey, welcome to another short live review of from Telex here, and we're going to look at the Benrinnes Flora and Fauna bottle, 15-year-old space side, 43%. And this is interesting because it's a bit different as far as it's not easy to find. You can get this in your online shops, I'd say, and see what it's. We'll talk about price here a little bit later. Anyway, but it's interesting because Benrinnes does triple distillation, a bit like a lowland distillery or an Irish whiskey. Um, this one is particular European oak with some used sherry casks. How used they are is a question. Um, the notes are there, though. We'll get into that in a second. This is unfortunately most likely colored and chill filtered, but that's the hopefully the least of our worries when we go attack this. I've been looking forward to this all day. Let's give a little swirl. We just go in neat, of course, first. Mmm. Spicy cinnamon up front. Some leather, too. Not heavy leather like a Springbank type thing sometimes, but more, it's got some medium leather notes in there. Some nutmeg in the back, too, with that cinnamon. Some red grapes. Some citrus, some oranges too. Hmm. Some floral notes too, medium florals, bright florals. Huh. Really nice on the nose. Let's have a little taste. Hmm. Little Debbie raisin cream pies are the first note with some spice to it too. Cocoa powder, some slight smoke. It's not a peated dram, I don't believe. They talk about peat on the label, but I don't believe this is a peated dram. It's a sherry dram. It does have a bit of a slightly smoke note to it. Let's see. Mm. With all that, there's some honey, and in the back, some white pepper notes. That's good. Hmm. Finish is medium length, I'd say. It's a nice mouth coat. It's on the medium side. I wouldn't give it as heavy as a Kleinlich, but it is medium to heavy, I'd say. It's got a nice body to it. Hmm. It's a bit dry, but it is balanced. I'll give it that. It definitely, the sherry type is not well known, but I would say I would bet my money on this being Oloroso. It's a bit dry, but let's have a couple drops and see what we get. And I'm talking a drop. This is 43%. You're not going to, douse it. There's one drop. I might give it two just for giggles. There we go. And we'll do a little swirl. And this is so far a good experience. Not quite sure what the water's going to do, but if you have time, even with the 40% ABV bottle, no joke, it does pay dividends sometimes to add one drop, two drops max on that 40%, let it sit for a bit, come back, get it a nose, and sometimes on the higher end 40%, I know it's kind of weird to say high end 40% ABV drinks, they are out there though. If you do that, sometimes you get a lot more complexity, a lot more character out of the dram. It's worth the venture if you got the time. Oh wow, see, it's changed a lot on this. Oh my. There's more fruit and a lot of vanilla that comes to the forefront on after the water. Some marshmallow and even more florals in there. Do I like the nose better with or without the water? I mean, I prefer it neat, but it does have some more character and complexity, like I said, with a couple of drops. Definitely different. Hmm. The palate is I don't prefer it. It's got a slight minerality to that comes a little bitterness, but it's still also kind of gives it more of a black pepper note on the palate instead of the white pepper I got before. Hmm. Honey's still there. My the spicy kick, the black pepper, with the water on the tail end before the finish is good, but I'm not sure if I prefer. I think I prefer this neat. It's still a short dry finish with some hazelnuts. It's a good dram. It's way above average. I mean, average is a 3 out of 5 to me. I do 0.25 increments. This guy is going to be, well, I'm thinking of 3.75. It's not quite there to be a 4. I mean, it's got nice age. It is a 15-year. It does taste like a 15-year, which I do applaud Diageo for at least getting that part correct. I'm not too keen on the coloring and the chill filtering, but you know, as far as the taste, the complexity, how it can handle a couple drops of water, the triple distillation difference is kind of interesting, gives it a difference. It's not a sherry bomb, but it is a really good drink for a sherry lover, I'd say. Especially if they're not afraid of some sulfuric tones in there. I get a little sulfur. It's a little meatier than a lot of sherry drams. It kind of tastes reminiscent of a really good Mortlock or like a Longmorn 16, but I like the Longmorn 16 a little better maybe than this, but barely. Um, but this is still pretty solid. It's usually about 60 to 70 bucks American. You might have to add a little bit for shipping, not much if you get it with a couple other bottles. Definitely, I think well worth that. I think it's a good daily sipper, if you know what I mean. Um, Especially if you're like me and are a sherry fan, and I am. I like it just as much as Pete sometimes. If I can't have my Pete, I'll be happy with a really good glass of sherry influence here. And the European oak and the sherry goes really well together. I think it's fairly well done. We'll put it that way. Well, thanks so much for stopping by for the short review. I'm going to start a new long discussion live review here with Malt Muser in a second, and hope to see you there. And cilantro for now.